Good morning and welcome to More Tea Minister. My name is Ian. Today is, as the title tells us, an unboxing video. Technically, it's an unbasketing because we're going to open, once we've unwrapped, we're going to open this basket of Tianjian tea. Now, Tianjian is a kind of dark tea. It's aged and stored in bamboo baskets like this, sometimes in very large baskets. This one is a 1 kilogram basket. The other distinguishing feature is that this is from 2009. Other than that, I can tell you precisely nothing about it. I bought this, to use a local phrase, deliberately as a pig in a poke. I don't know what condition this is in. I don't know anything about it, but it was such a good price that I felt I couldn't help but snatch it up. So we're going to have an unboxing, an unbasketing, and I hope to have a camera set up in the next part of the video so that you'll get a better view of the tea inside and you can get as good a view of the full wonder or horror of what's inside here. But I'm going to pause it here and then we'll come to the unbasketing. Hello again. I wanted to get the first part of that done as a separate take because I'll only have one chance to unwrap and unbasket this Tianjian. Before we begin, what can I tell about the product even whilst it's sealed? Well, very little. I might be able to tell you whether it's lost any weight over the years. As I say, it's in 2009. That's 16 years of aging, and tea does dry out in storage. So let's see what weight it is. It's still over 1,000 grams. My weighing scales went into error mode, so it's still way over 1,000 grams. I presume that includes the basket. The wrapping will weigh virtually nothing. I'm going to be very careful here. I'm not going to say where I got this tea from in case the review is unfavorable. If it's just unfavorable because I don't like the tea, then I might mention who it is at the end. But if the problem is a little deeper than that, that would be unfair. So let's see. Can I smell anything? I can just smell the plastic wrapper, which suggests that it's well sealed. And what can I see? Apart from the sticker here from the vendor, there are some fragments of tea on the bottom. I don't know whether that's shake or something else, but I really can't tell any more without unwrapping. So make sure I don't damage the box, the basket. I'm going to use these scissors and I'm going to keep my fingers well out of the way. This is quite exciting, at least for me. Now, I don't know what that shake is. There's quite a bit of it, which is why I have a tray here. Now, can I smell anything? I'm not quite sure. There's something like tea coming out of it, which is always a good sign. I should say it's perhaps unsurprising if there isn't a smell. I've been reading online that Tianjian only ages in the sense of improving for a certain number of years, and after that it becomes a very mellow kind of tea, not unpleasant, but very mellow. But a lot of people prize Tianjian for its knees and elbows, let's say, for the smoky quality that some of them have and the richness and the kind of dark fruit flavor profile. But what can I smell? I still can't really smell anything other than the bamboo. So I've never opened one of these, so I don't actually know how we're meant to open it. I'm not sure how anybody fastened it. So back to the scissors. And this is where it gets really exciting because I have absolutely no idea what to expect here. You won't be able to see a great deal just yet, but what can I see? I'm going to use the end of the scissors to give it a gentle poke. It's pretty solid. I'm not sure I'm going to move the camera over, see if you can see it. Oh, you can actually, that's pretty good. That's what it looks like to me. And it's pretty solid. I think I might have to chisel little bits out, although the leaves right at the top are moving, which is probably a good sign. Most important thing is, what does it smell like? There's a sort of slightly peaty aspect to it, which I suppose is a residual smell from the fermentation. Other than that, I can't really smell anything. It looks pretty good. The leaf pieces are pretty big, and as I say, now I've opened it. Well, now I've opened it, the leaves are starting to loosen. So I think that's all that we can say about the tea from here. I'm going to try and film me looking at the tea more closely. If that doesn't work, we're going to go straight to me taking a brave pill and brewing some of this tea. So I hope to see you either on my mobile phone or back here in 2 takes. Hello again. This is me with my mobile phone set up now. Hopefully there's enough illumination for us to be able to see the tea together. You can probably see that the tea is in quite large fragments, as I was saying before. And if I move it slightly, you'll be able to see that the edges are still pretty solid. So we're going to have a see as to how easy it is to loosen some of this off. Otherwise, it's going to be rather exciting trying to drink it later. Well, we're getting some movement there, but it's still... Oh, down here it's a little bit looser. I think in my own time I'm going to have to chisel some of this tea off. But the colour, it's pretty much uniformly dark. There are some pieces that are much paler. There seems to be some sort of leaf or twig material in there. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. Let me move it around a little. And this side of the box was in darkness, so let's see if I can give you a bit more light. Ah, there we are. Yeah, so you can see it's pretty solid all the way round. I still can't really smell anything. So that is the last thing I can do is give you that's a good look all the way around. Let's see if it's looser at random in this corner. Oh yes, look at that. That's coming loose. I don't know if you can see that. That's good. That's going to be our point of attack for brewing with this tea. So I think that's everything that I can show you up close. You know about as much about this as I do by now. So back in a mo. Okay, hopefully, just before this last part of the video, you will see the box of tea up close. If that hasn't worked, then we've skipped seamlessly from me sitting at this table to me sitting at this table, but magically everything in front of us has changed. So just in case we don't get a good look on the mobile phone, there is the tea for you. Pretty dark. There's no more smell now that it's comprised of the compressed block, or basket of tea, I should say. I am going to make sure when I put it in my little teapot that I take a smell off the warmed teapot and see if that sort of wakens up the smell. What we're going to do for this is follow the same Gong Fu brewing parameters that we had for the Tianjian in a previous video. So we're going for the full 8 grams today per 100 mils of water at 100 degrees centigrade. And to begin with, we're going to have a wash of the tea. But what we're going to do is just warm. This is just warming water. So I'm just going to drain the teapot, stays warm, and hopefully we'll see if that livens up the tea. So let's get all 8 grams. These leaves are quite big. I think I'm glad it's 160 ml pot because much smaller, and I don't think these tea leaves would be fitting in. So let's hurry up while the pot is still warm and see what that does for the tea. I know there are more elegant ways of doing this, but I like to feel if we keep it simple, then it's something everybody can do. So let's take a smell of the tea leaves are in a warmed pot and see what that does. Ah, now that's interesting. It has woken them up a little bit. There's more of a aged tea smell to that. I am curious to know how that comes out in the taste. So this, to begin with, it's a 10-second wash just to wake everything up. So it doesn't really matter whether we fill the teapot up or not. Not for later. Give that 10 seconds. And we're just going to put the wastewater from this rinse straight into our wastewater bowl here. It's already changing the color slightly, but not by much. So the next one is a 15-second steep. That should be about 100 mils of water. As always, I'm going to give that a little shuggle. Counting away in my head. And that should be 15 seconds. Pour nice and fast. Make sure there's nothing left in, otherwise the tea will keep on steeping, which we don't want. And let's see. It just smells like slightly diluted tea, which is fair enough. It's only had 15 seconds. It's a lovely sort of orange color. Orange going on bronze. I think you can pick that up pretty well. So let's see what that's like on the taste. Bear in mind, this has only had 15 seconds so far. Oh, there's more flavor than you might expect. There's a sort of fruity note to that. That's going to be quite strong, I think. Oops, sorry for that clang. The next one is going to be 20 seconds. I'm trying to hammer through them because I want to be fair to this tea. But what flavor we can expect and whether it has in fact come through 16 years of aging unscathed, I don't know yet. But the initial signs are promising. Ooh, it's quite juicy. It's got my mouth juicing up. Don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll soon see. And that should be our 20 seconds. Double check. Yes, it's 20 seconds. That steeping is looking darker already. You can probably see even where the jug is now. According to your view, that's certainly come out darker. Yeah, that's more of a bronze color now, I would say. And on the smell, it's still, it doesn't smell as diluted, but it just smells like diluted tea. I'm not really picking anything up. I might, for the next steeping, use less water. See if that helps. There's sweetness coming through now. There's no smokiness. So if it was smoked to begin with, that's definitely shuffled off the mortal coil over the years. It's smooth, which is, I suppose, to be expected. Right, we're going to hammer through these. The next one is 25, and I'm going to use less water. See if that helps with that slightly diluted sense I'm getting from the tea. You'll be able to hear the kettle because it's right next to me, even closer than it is in the other videos. I really should learn to keep the strainer on top of the jug at all times when I'm not pouring, because more than once, I think I've told you, I've nearly poured the tea through the strainer when it's been sitting on the desk, which would have got me in soapy bubble, as he would say. That's not a local saying. So let's see how that's come out. That's come out darker still. probably tell that. Sort of darker colour still. Let's give that a try. But first, what's it like on the smell? There's a fruity note still that hint of aged or fermented tea, but nothing very strong. Herbal, slightly aged tea taste to it. No rough edges. Looking at the time, we're going to give it one last chance. I do try to be fair. So this one is going to be our last one for 40 seconds, and I might do my sort of rundown. It's not really fair to try and give this tea a recommendation. It's not particularly easy to get hold of, and I always knew that was the case. In fact, the only reason I wanted to make a video was to share an unboxing with you. I enjoy watching them, but I haven't had a chance to perform one yet. So we can't recommend it. I'm not going to try recommending it on availability. How easy is it to brew? Well, it's no different to any other Tianjian. You have the excitement of unwrapping it and prizing a little bit of the tea off, and that sense of discovery, which obviously, well, I think it adds to the whole experience, and I hope it's added to the video. And finally, on the taste, well, if it ever was a smoked version of Tianjian, the smoke is gone. It's smooth, but after 16 years, as I say, that's to be expected. There's a strange balance between wanting to use the 8 grams of tea, which to kind of counter the diluted taste. But I feel if you weren't careful, 8 grams would oversteep pretty quickly. So I think that's our full whack. So let's see what this final steeping is like. There's a fruitiness, but the kind of fermented taste isn't really there. What's it like on the cup? No different, just the same. It really hasn't picked up. It's got body, but that's, I think, because there's so much tea in the pot. I wouldn't say it's tremendously enjoyable, but I have enjoyed unboxing it and finding that out. I've been looking forward to opening this tea for a good couple of months now. I hope, despite the fact it hasn't been the world's most scintillating tasting experience, I hope it's been an enjoyable video for you. So it remains for me simply to say happy steeping and also to say God bless.